Most people think they are trying to build the life they want. But if you look closely, something else is happening. They move, they plan, they stay busy. But when it comes to the actions that would actually change their life, they hesitate, they delay, they redirect, they choose something smaller. And over time, a pattern forms. You are not only moving forward, you are also quietly avoiding the direction that matters most. Why? Because the life you actually want is not just attractive, it is also psychologically expensive. It demands more than effort, it demands exposure. Because wanting something real means risking something real. You are no longer protected by imagination. Now there is outcome, and outcome creates pressure. As long as the life you want stays in your head, it is safe. It cannot fail. It cannot disappoint. It cannot prove anything about you. But the moment you begin moving toward it, something changes. Now reality responds, and reality gives feedback. That is where avoidance begins. Not because you do not want the result, but because you want to avoid what the process might reveal. What if I am not as capable? What if I start and cannot sustain it? What if I succeed and everything changes? Most people think fear is only about failure, but often it is also about change, because change disrupts identity. If your life changes, your routines change, your relationships may change, your expectations of yourself increase. Even success can feel destabilizing. So the brain does something subtle. It keeps you close to what is familiar, even if familiar is frustrating, because predictable discomfort feels safer than uncertain growth. This is why people stay in situations they know are limiting, not because they enjoy them, but because they understand them. And understanding creates control. Even when that control is small, there is another mechanism at play. The life you actually want is often long-term. It requires consistency, uncertainty, delayed reward. But the brain is biased toward immediate relief. So when faced with a meaningful but uncomfortable action, it offers an alternative. Do something easier now. Something quick. Check something. Answer something. Organize something. Distract yourself. And just like that, the important action is postponed again. This is how avoidance hides, not as obvious refusal, but as subtle redirection. You do not say, I am avoiding my life. You say, I am just doing this first. And if repeated enough times, that first becomes permanent. Sometimes you avoid the life you want because wanting it fully would force a decision, and decisions close doors. As long as you stay undecided, you keep multiple identities alive, multiple possibilities. But choosing one path means letting others go, and that creates loss. So the mind keeps you in a state of partial movement, enough to feel engaged, not enough to force commitment. And this is where many people stay for years, busy, functional, but not aligned. And over time, this creates a quiet tension. Because part of you knows, you are not stuck by lack of opportunity. You are stuck by selective movement, moving everywhere except where it matters most. And that creates a specific kind of exhaustion, not physical. It is the exhaustion of knowing you are close to something important and not stepping into it. So what changes this? Not motivation alone. What changes this is tolerance. Tolerance for discomfort during meaningful action. The path toward the life you want will not feel comfortable at the beginning. It will feel unstable, exposing, uncertain. The shift happens when you reinterpret discomfort, not as danger, but as proximity to change. And then you reduce the scale, not the dream. The next step, one action that moves in the right direction, even if small, even if imperfect, because movement changes perception. The life you actually want is rarely hidden. It appears in repeated thoughts, in recurring desires, in things you keep postponing. And if something keeps returning to your mind over time, it is not random. It is a signal, and ignoring them has a cost. Because over time, avoidance reshapes identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who moves toward what matters, and start seeing yourself as someone who almost does. That is the real risk, not failure, but gradual misalignment between what you want and how you act. And the longer that gap exists, the harder it becomes to ignore. Because eventually, the question changes. It is no longer, what do I want? It becomes, why am I not moving toward it? And once that question becomes clear, something shifts. Because now avoidance is no longer invisible. And what becomes visible can finally be changed. Thanks for watching, and I see you in the next one.